Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shauna and I'm going to be doing a Q&A today. Now this Q&A is going to cover a little bit of everything. It's going to cover being a military spouse, what that means, answering questions related to that, being a mom, questions about Elodie, questions about our family, and then questions about what I do besides YouTube. But to get started, I wanted to answer some of the most commonly asked questions because I know I get them a lot and they're a little bit repetitive, but I figured I would just get them out of the way so in case you're new here, you can get to know a little bit more about me and my family. Alright, so I am married to my husband Ben, and he is currently serving in the United States Air Force. He is active duty and we are stationed overseas in England. We have been here for 2 years. We have about a year to go here. And then we also have a almost 15-month-old daughter named Elodie Jane. She is absolutely the center of our lives and we love her so much. But then we also have a little pup named Stella. Ben and I met when we were back stateside prior to him joining the US Air Force. And after only 4 months of dating, he proposed and we got engaged. And later that year on New Year's Eve, we got married. So we have been married for almost 3 years this coming New Year's Eve. And we got engaged at 18. I was 18 years old, he was 19 years old, and then we were married at 19 for me and 20 years old for him. Alright, so now that that is out of the way a little bit, I'm going to jump right into these questions. I asked you guys on Instagram to give me some questions that you want to know the answers to. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty active on there sharing my stories, so if I'm not vlogging or filming, you can stay up to date with us and what we're up to. But the first question I got was, how is it living in England, the hardest adjustments? Okay, so honestly, it's obviously a really cool experience living in England, but it's hard. I was not expecting it to be as hard as it is to live here. I knew it was going to be a culture shock, and my mother-in-law is actually from England, so I had her like giving me the lowdown on what England's all about. Ben still has some family here. I kind of thought it wasn't going to be as rough of a transition as, you know, someone else who doesn't have any family here or doesn't have any information on the country. But it is still hard. It's a culture shock. Going from living in the States, and honestly, I lived in the same house for 18 years. I'm now 22 years old, so that alone is a huge transition, let alone living overseas. But the hardest adjustments were probably the food. We really miss American food. It is completely different over here. And then we also just miss the way of the States. There's a lot more to do in the States. We do kind of just live in the middle of nowhere because we're near an Air Force base. You know, they have to have spots for the runways and everything. And then also it's just a different way of life over here, a different pace. You have to get used to their customs and traditions and how they do life, and I mean, you stick out like a sore thumb sometimes. So honestly, just a little bit of everything. It's just a hard transition and one that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Alright, so when should we be moving again? I kind of already touched on this, but we have about a year left here. We have no idea where we will be moving to. We actually find out where we're moving to like literally a couple months before we're supposed to be there, be at the next place. So it's going to be a crazy time for us next summer, but it's going to also be super exciting. We're excited to move and just to experience somewhere new, wherever that may be. Alright, where do you want to get stationed after England? This is hard. Ben and I have gone back and forth whether we want to stay overseas or go back stateside. And recently, as you guys probably know, we visited Florida, which is my home state. And after being in Florida and just being back in the States, that was the first time in 2 years for the both of us. And we have decided that we really would love to just go back to the States. We miss being around family. We miss just how the States runs, the food. Oh, we miss the food in the States so much. Yeah, we just miss the way of life over there a little bit more. And so I don't know where we would ideally like to go in the States. Of course, I love Florida. Ben loves Texas. We would love to go somewhere warm because I love the heat. But honestly, as long as we're in the States and we're not too far from family, we would be pretty happy. What's the best thing about being with someone in the military? Oh gosh. Honestly, I feel like there's a lot of pros, and I feel like there's more pros than cons when you look at the bigger picture. So of course I first have to say the uniform, because who doesn't love a man in uniform? Like, come on. That's a huge pro. But beyond that, I think the military can really either make or break a relationship. And I think for Ben and I, it's really made our relationship so much stronger. And I don't think we would have had this bond or this connection without the military necessarily, just because going through deployments and separations and trainings and crazy schedules and living overseas away from family, you really have to depend on that other person and put everything into that other person just a little bit differently than you would have to if you were closer to family. And I think that the military really just strengthens that bond between you and your significant other. And also, I mean, if you get sick of your significant other or need a little bit of a break, don't worry, there's probably going to be a TDY or a deployment or something around the corner. So as much as, you know, we hate the separation and everything, like, let's be real. Every now and then it's good to like separate a bit and then come back together, and it's like the honeymoon phase all over again, and it's the best thing in the world. So of course, you know, you can go years without a deployment or whatever else, and you know, that I don't want that to come off wrong, but at the same time, like, sometimes it's nice to have like a couple weeks separation, like when he goes on TDY or whatever, and then you can focus on yourself a little bit. I think there's a lot of pros in that situation, because then you can focus just on you, and then he can kind of focus on him and just his work. And you know, you don't always get that when you're in a normal relationship and you see each other 24/7 every day of the week, especially if they work from home and like your families live in the same area and everything like that. You don't really get that sort of break, and I think that can be really healthy and really great for a relationship. How do you make friends as a military spouse? Okay, this one is hard. I know everyone struggles with this. To be honest, I really only made friends once I had Elodie, my daughter. I know that might not be the answer you're hoping for, but I think the biggest thing is just putting yourself out there. The military is really good about making you step out of your comfort zone as a military spouse, and that is the biggest thing. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta be open to rejections, like friend rejections or something maybe not working out, personalities clashing, but you gotta do it. If you don't do it and you don't get involved in things, then you're never gonna get out of your house and you're never going to experience people around you. So for me, when I had Elodie, it gave me a really great excuse to meet other moms, get into our community more. She does swimming lessons where I've met some people from. Having her has definitely made the transition easier, because I have something easily I can connect with other military spouses about and other parents and moms. But I don't think that would really change if I didn't have her, because I would still be putting myself out there just in a little bit of different ways. The Facebook groups that we have around our base and just like military spouse groups in general on Facebook and stuff have actually been a really amazing tool too, because you can just kind of post a status, and that's a little bit less nerve-wracking than actually just meeting someone for a coffee right off the bat without never really talking to them before. So I think that there is a lot of pros to social media in this day and age with meeting other military spouses and just other friends in general, and I think you should really try to use those to your advantage. What is one of Elodie's personality traits you can see most of day to day? Oh my goodness. Okay, so one of the biggest personality traits we have seen recently is her organizational skills. Holy cow. This girl, she loves to put toys away, to organize things, to place things correctly. We actually went to like a soft play center the other day with a ball pit. She hated that the balls were outside of the ball pit. So instead of playing in the ball pit, which she did a little bit, but she would mostly just pick up the balls off the floor, put them back in. She was freaking stealing balls from other little kids to throw back into the ball pit. Like, oh my gosh, I had to apologize to the parents because I'm like, I'm so sorry. She is actually really great at sharing, but she just wants to clean everything up and organize everything. So that is like one of the biggest traits we have seen recently in her. But beyond that, she's just a super sweet girl. She loves to give cuddles. She loves to share. She has like a little Wubba pacifier and a little blanket that she carries around everywhere, and she will share that with anyone, which I feel like is just so sweet and genuine, because she loves those things so incredibly much that if she wants to share that with you, that really says something about her, I feel like. So she's just literally the light of our lives, and we love her so much, and she's just a perfect little addition to our family. Where do you learn more about natural products to use, and where do you buy oils? Alright, so if you don't know, I'm actually a Young Living distributor. I absolutely love oils, I love Young Living, and so I actually sell that also. If you ever have any questions about that, I am more than happy to chat with you. Never like to be pressure or salesy or anything, but I just love chatting about non-toxic products and more natural products for your home, for yourselves, for your children, for your pets, anything like that. So my DMs and like comments section and everything is always open, but because I am a Young Living distributor, that is where I buy my oils. They have a seed to sale promise, and they're just a really great company. Their farms are all over the world. Quality of their oils is absolutely top notch, so that is the only company I trust to get my essential oils from. But where do I learn more about like the natural products and like getting into all of that? To be honest, what jump-started that for me was buying a starter kit with Young Living, because when I bought a starter kit, I was brought into a community of like-minded women and people that all talked about the natural living and the oils and how to use them and where to buy products beyond Young Living. And that is really where I fell in love with just the atmosphere and non-toxic living and a cleaner idea of life for me and my family. But beyond that, I did a lot of personal research too, just Googling. If you have questions or you don't know where to find something, Google it. Reach out to like-minded people like myself. Or even Pinterest has a lot of good resources, but I am a little bit careful with Pinterest just because, you know, you're kind of trusting someone else's word. So I use that with a grain of salt sometimes, but the biggest spot was the Facebook groups and the community that I was brought into once I bought that starter kit, and I really dove headfirst into oils and this sort of lifestyle. If you ever have any questions, my links are always down below if you want to like explore it more. Or like I said, my inbox, the comment section, Instagram, whatever, is always open if you have any questions or want to chat more about a little non-toxic, natural living life. How did you get through the holidays during deployment and being away from family? Okay, so the holidays were hard. I mean, it was Elodie's first holidays and Ben was gone for almost every single one of them. It's not easy. There's no easy way to say like, oh, I did this and it was perfect and amazing and great. Like, no, it is hard. It sucks so much. Every day is long and exhausting and tiring, and that's just how it is. But honestly, you just get through it. I wish I had something to tell you that was more substantial than that, but you just freaking get through it. Like if that person means so much to you that you want to stay with them and you've created a life with them, you will just get through it. I mean, that's just like with anything in life. If something's thrown at you, you have no option but just to get through it. So just take it one day at a time, have things on your calendar, things to look forward to, whether that's visiting family, even if you don't live close, visiting them once, or going out to your favorite coffee shop every other morning. Whatever it may be, have things on your calendar that you look forward to. And after that, a big way I got through is just staying on a schedule. I'm lucky because I have my daughter here to really force me to stay on a schedule. So if you don't have kids, I know it's a little bit harder. But make a schedule for yourself. Outline what you're going to be doing for that day and stick to that, because that is how your days are going to flow and how you're going to get through them. As for the holidays, I don't know, guys. I spent Christmas with my daughter and just me at home in a foreign country last year, so it sucked. It really did. I FaceTimed family, I FaceTimed Ben as much as I could, but it just sucked. You just gotta put one foot in front of the other. You gotta let yourself have times to just cry and bawl and, you know, just let out that anger and frustration, but then you also just gotta pick your head up and say, okay, I can do this. We're one day closer. You know, that homecoming is gonna be worth it. This is all going to be worth it. And that time frame, whether it's 6 months, 9 months, 12 months or more of that deployment or the separation, is seriously only a drop in the bucket compared to the rest of your life, and you're going to be able to have an opportunity to make these memories again, which is what Ben and I are going to do this year with Elodie, because he will be home. So it's really, I think, a lot about just perspective and positivity, and you really just have to have a big mind shift. I just want to say that if you are ever feeling down or ever need someone to talk to and feel like you don't know where to turn, again, my inbox, my DMs, the comment section is always open, and I'm always here to chat with you because I know how it is. I know how it feels. I've been in your shoes before, and it's not fun, but you can do it. I know you can, and it will be worth it in the end, trust me. Alright, someone said I was in London in early June and it was cold compared to the US. How do you do it? I ask myself that every day, honestly. Like, it is cold here compared to Florida. I'm from Florida. Like, Christmas in Florida is hot. No, this winter and just the seasons in general here are difficult to get through, especially as we have like the upcoming fall and winter season. It gets really dark and cold and lonely here. Whew, it's hard. That's why we want to go somewhere with a warmer climate next, even if it's, you know, cold winters. Hopefully the summer will at least be a little bit warmer, because in England the summers aren't even that warm. And if they are really warm, like we had that weird heat front come through, then it's like absolutely miserable because we don't have AC. So you literally have the two extremes here, and neither of them are fun. So I don't know what to tell you. I just deal. But it's a struggle every single day. When are we planning on baby number 2? Okay. I don't want to say exactly when we're planning, because honestly, if it were to happen anytime, Ben and I would be over the moon for another little blessing to welcome into our family. I will have to say, I think we're gonna wait a little bit until baby number 2 arrives, just because Ben was gone for so long of Elodie's first year of life, and honestly, he hasn't even been back for that long from deployment. That we really just want to focus on this time with Elodie and just being a family of 3 plus little Stella, and then maybe at our next duty station we'll think about expanding our family a little bit more. How did you cook for 1 person during deployment? Oh my gosh, this is like the biggest struggle of deployment for me. Guys, I don't cook. You know this if you follow me. I don't cook. I hate cooking. And so especially at that time, Elodie wasn't even on baby foods or solids at all yet. She was just nursing. So it was literally just me cooking for myself. And we don't even have fast food restaurants around here. The most fast food we have around here is McDonald's or Burger King, which, like, no. So that was such a huge struggle. I think it's a lot about just like meal prepping. I would honestly make the same amount that I would make with Ben, but then instead of giving that other portion to Ben for that night, I would just have it for lunch the next day. So that part wasn't really too hard for me. It was just getting the motivation to get up and cook for just 1 person, and honestly, it was a daily struggle. Every single day I struggled with it. I was always asking myself what I was gonna eat. It was not fun. At the very end, I did turn to a lot of like microwavable meals and anything quick. And I'm not too proud of that because I don't really like eating that way, but at the same time, I was desperate, and at that point, I was happy that I was at least eating, because there was definitely a lot of times I would skip meals, or I would just eat a little bit something like crackers or whatever for the night, which is so bad, especially when I was nursing. But just keeping it real with you guys, it was a struggle. It was hard. My biggest suggestion would be to like meal prep, and like I said, use that other meal that you give to your husband or your significant other as your lunch the next day. Can you do a house tour for YouTube? Yes. So that is actually a video I really want to film. Ben and I were just talking this past weekend because we put away some things in like our attic and in closets that we needed to put away for a while. So our house was feeling a bit more freed up. Look out for that video, I would say in the next month or 2. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but I do want that video up just for our personal memories too, because I know Elodie's not going to remember this house. So I would love to show her what this house is like in the future, because she will have spent over 2 years in this house. Definitely look for that video soon. How do you stay positive with the military life and being far away? Again, it's hard. I have a lot of down days, and of course I don't always show those just because I confide a lot in Ben, and I'm not a person who posts on my Instagram or on YouTube a lot of times when I'm down or when I'm not feeling my best, just because I like to bring positivity. I don't like showing those moments to myself. I don't like being vulnerable like that. And honestly, I never want to come off like I'm complaining or like I'm ungrateful. So it's really hard to post that sort of stuff. And that's why I don't. But I definitely have those days. And again, it's just about your mindset and finding the things that you're grateful for. Like Ben and I are so grateful for this house and for getting the opportunity to live overseas and explore different countries. We've been to Paris and Belgium and Greece, and hopefully a couple more in the next year. But there's a lot to be thankful for, and there's a lot of happy moments in the military life, even through the sad moments. I honestly think that the good moments always outweigh the bad moments. It's just that you have to look for those good moments, and when they appear, you have to really be thankful for those and really take those in and cherish every single moment. The military life definitely teaches you how to cherish every single moment of your life and to be grateful when great things happen, and to take the bad things with stride and not to let it get you down. How are Elodie's swimming lessons going? They're going great. So she's actually, for this month of August, she is on a break right now because they have like a summer break, because that is when the UK schools are out, but they are going great. She's still loving them. She loves the water. She loves her teacher. We'll probably keep her in some lessons until the very last second we leave here, and then hopefully at our next duty station we'll be able to find something similar. But we absolutely love them, and I cannot recommend them enough to any parent of a young baby or of an older child. We do water babies over here in the UK, and I believe they have places in Europe. I'm not sure about the States quite yet. They might have them in the States also, but I would definitely recommend them. They are amazing. At how many subscribers do you think YouTube could be a full-time job for someone? I don't know exactly. I am slowly figuring this out. I do make an income off of YouTube currently, so I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who just watches, subscribes, gives my video likes, comments, all of that. It really means so much to me and my family, and I can't even thank you guys enough for just like all the support. It's just amazing, and I absolutely love doing this, so just thank you for everything. I don't know when this could be considered a full-time job, but I have high hopes for what the future holds for YouTube. I'm pretty close to hitting 10K as it is right now, so I'm super excited for what the future holds. And I don't know, we'll see guys. Maybe ask this question to me in a few months or a year or something, and I'll have a better answer. The last and final question I'm going to answer for today is, why is Ben's Instagram private? Guys, you freaking hate that his Instagram is private, and you know what? That just makes him even happier. I don't know why his Instagram is private. He says that he just doesn't want a bunch of people following him, which is totally understandable. It's his decision at the end of the day. But it's funny because I joke with him, like, we have thousands of people following us here on YouTube, yet you don't want your Instagram public and you don't really post on there that much anyways. I don't know, y'all, but it is so funny to me, and every time that you guys ask about this, which is a lot, he gets even happier because he just thinks it's hilarious. So maybe, I told him last night, maybe when I hit like 100,000 subscribers, if that were to ever happen, he would maybe open his Instagram. And he looked at me and he said, nope, but who knows? I'm sure his answer will change one day, but until then, it is private, and he's not budging on opening up to the public quite yet. Alright y'all, so that is it for the Q&A today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I answered a lot of your questions and maybe gave you some motivation if you're in similar situations or going through a deployment or starting out your life as a military spouse. Like I said, my inbox in the comment section down below is always open if you need a friend to chat to or have questions or anything like that. Please message me. I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Or if there's a question that I did not get to answer today, because I did get a good amount, and so I had to kind of pick and choose which ones to answer, make sure to comment that question down below and I will try to get to it there. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, I would love to have you a part of this journey with us. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and then let me know down in the comments below that you're new so I can say hello to you and welcome you to my channel. But until next time guys, bye!
I lose my breath whenever I see you.